Simplify the complex fraction. So we're going to simplify the numerator first, and that's 1 over x plus 1 minus x over x minus 1. So the common denominator here is x plus 1 times x minus 1. I'm going to multiply the first fraction by x minus 1 over x minus 1. So that's going to be times a 1 for the numerator, and then times x plus 1 for the denominator. Then minus, now the second fraction needs to be multiplied by x plus 1. So it'll be x plus 1 times x over x plus 1 times x minus 1. So now these fractions have the same denominator and they can be combined. So I'm going to combine this into one fraction and multiply to simplify the numerators all at once here. So let's pay attention. X times 1 is x. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. And then minus x times x is x squared. And then x times 1 is x minus x over x minus 1 times x plus 1. And that equals, simplify, negative x squared, and then plus x and minus x makes 0, and then minus 1 over x minus 1 times x plus 1. Get that guy too. Okay, so that's the combined numerator. Now we're going to do the denominator. And that's going to be x squared over x minus 1 minus x over x plus 1. So the common denominator here is going to be x plus 1 times x minus 1. The first fractions need the x plus 1, so it's going to be x squared times x plus 1 over x minus 1 times x plus 1 minus x times x minus 1 over x plus 1 times x minus 1. And the second fraction needed the x minus 1. Okay, now I'm going to simplify the numerator here. So x squared times x is x to the third. And then x squared times 1 is x squared, so plus x squared. And then minus x squared. And then x times negative 1. Negative x times negative 1 is x, so plus x over x plus 1 times x minus 1. I'll simplify a little bit more. X to the third plus x squared minus x squared makes 0, and then plus x over x plus 1 times x minus 1. Okay, now that's a simplified denominator. Let me go ahead and write a big fraction here. Now I'm going to flip the denominator and multiply anyway, so I might as well do that now. So it'll be x plus 1 times x minus 1 divided by x to the third plus x. Alrighty, now I'm going to make this all one big fraction here because I'm multiplying straight across. So it'll be all multiplied together. Let me see what can cancel out. The x plus 1's cancel out. The x minus 1's cancel out. And that leaves negative x squared minus 1 over x to the third plus x. Let me see if I can factor this. I'll take out a negative sign in the numerator. It'll be x squared plus 1 over, I can take an x out of the denominator, times x squared plus 1. So those cancel out, and that equals negative 1 over x.